Hello, everybody. This is Joseph Land, and welcome to the call today. It's great to have you guys on. This is the 14th day of November. We're coming up on next week being Thanksgiving, so we got a lot to be thankful for this month. And I just wanted to wish everybody a hello and thank you for joining us today. And we're going to have an exciting call. We're going to be talking about climate change today. Climate change, but it's not about the weather, it's about climate change. So anyway, I'll be talking to you about that. I'm excited to hear your thoughts on that today. And just wanted to say hello to everybody. How about, let's see here. How about Jerry Llewellyn? Why don't you start us off today, Jerry, and tell us, I want you to tell everybody how you're handling your clients differently now than you used to handle your clients.
Well, Joseph, thank you very much. It's really an honor to be on the call with you and everybody. It's a wonderful experience for me. Well, I guess the main thing that I'm consciously doing, it's not like I never did it before, but boy, consciously doing it is a big deal. I'm edifying my clients. I'm finding ways to find them not only doing things right, but just honoring their strengths and honoring their gifts and thanking them for being good people. Thank you for, the decisions that you made. Thank you for the strength that you're exercising. Thank you for showing up. Any way I can find to edify. And what's amazing, including people that I call problem children that are having challenges in their relationships with other team members. I'm just edifying them. And I'm shocked that they're coming back with, there's just giving their best efforts and their genuine response. And it's not that I didn't know that principle, it's that I've never just thought of it as the repetition that's important, just to repeat doing the right thing, repeatedly edifying them. But I want to say a really quick, amusing story. So I have a client that's a litigation attorney in California. And he was, I was asking him, I'm helping him build a strategic plan for, the next 10 years. And he has a stated goal of $100 million. And right now he was at about 4 million, a little bit past certainly the midpoint of the year. And, I asked him, well, how are things now? How does it look? How does 2022 look? He said, well, I'm going to get a $7,500,000 check for my fees on this one case, and it's going to fall in December. Okay. And I'm saying, oh, he just doubled his revenue. He just doubled his revenue for the year on one case. And I'm saying, and so we continue to have a conversation, and I find him that he's complaining suddenly about some administrative detail of one of his staff members that are not quite showing up. And I just laugh and I say, oh, Josh, Josh, I just love you, Josh. And he says, well, what do you mean, Jerry? I said, well, you're the only person that I know that's about ready to get a $7,500,000 check and is finding a way to complain. And we just sit there and laugh together for a while. And so it's the humanity, I guess, of the overall relationship that I just wanted to say, that it's the humanity. It's actually being with them and accepting them and sharing in their joys and sorrows. So thank you for giving me that opportunity to say, Joe.
It's pretty amazing, Jerry. Jerry's one of my 8 people that I work with. And we've seen some amazing things happen in your business over the past few months, haven't we?
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Amazing. So I'm very proud of you. So I'm going to go to Tracy down in Mexico. Tracy, how are you doing today?
Doing well, thank you. It's lovely to be down here. We got some noise. You might hear it. They're kind of working over our sidewalks down underneath us here. So, and then I've got people cleaning windows here. So yeah, it's a busy place, but no, have had a good week. We've been busy. We've got business going, a couple of businesses going down here right now too. So we've been having meetings and, and getting things organized there. So
Well, that's
Yeah,
great.
it's
That's
good.
great.
Yeah. And my
Well,
husband, he started he's gone to university again, which he did a few years ago to take more Spanish. So he's happier. He needed something to do, so that's what he's doing right now. So
oh,
yeah,
wonderful.
it's good.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
That,
thank you.
that is good to hear. You look so nice today, and thank you for joining us. I want to go to you, Dawn, up in New York, Long Island, New York. And on Friday was 11/11. I'll tell you something. Friday was 11/11/22. And so Thursday night, my wife and I went to bed. And so I went to bed earlier, and she said that she was in the bed reading, and she said, I'm going to go to bed asleep at 11/11 on Friday night. And so I woke up at 12/11, and it was like I was completely energized. And it was like I was ready to start my day, and I'd only been asleep for a couple hours. And so, and my dreams were just vivid. And so on Friday, we were on a special 11/11 call with a dear friend of mine that I've known for maybe 35 years. And Don trains and works with him. And there were 800, at one point when I was speaking, there were 878 people on that call. It was amazing. And I think there were a little more than that. I think some of them got off when they heard I was speaking. so anyway, they probably came on later. But Don, tell everybody about that call. That was amazing, wasn't it?
It was amazing, and the turnout was unbelievable. I was really blown away by that, and the growth that Master Lama Rasaji and Jimmy Schwinn have been experiencing is really exciting. I'm really excited that I'm growing with them, and it's given me a whole new direction in my life and purpose and vision. I am I'm through the roof with peace and joy since I've met Master Lama Rasaji.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I've seen a total change in you since I first met you, and it's very evident, how that's all evolving. Don, Master Lama Rasaji does such a good job in training and teaching people. And I'm going to tell you, Jimmy Schwinn is a Master Lama of the internet. I mean, to drive the traffic he's driven to what is going on with the Circle of Life and some of those things, it's just very impressive. And of course, I work with Jimmy and some other things that he does, but it's just very impressive to see that kind of traffic. And talking about here today, we're talking about being entrepreneurs and generating businesses and that kind of thing. I'll tell you, there are a lot of successful people that are operating on the internet. And so it would behoove us all to learn some of those skills, because there's a lot to be said about having success on the internet and knowing all that and learning that. Do you have anything to say about that, Dawn?
I agree. The trend is your friend. And going forward, if you don't get educated on the internet and social media, you're going to be left behind. So whether you're uncomfortable because of the unknown, you got to push through it and just dive in and start to learn it, which I'm doing. Actually, Joseph, you are the reason why I joined Facebook. I never had a Facebook page ever, because I just didn't believe in it. I thought it was a platform for people to kind of showcase a life that wasn't real, and they were kind of hiding from their life. And I'm like, this is not for me, not for me. I'm like, I can't get lost in that world. And I never engaged myself in social media's world. But in order to do this call, I had to have Facebook. So so I did. And I just dove in. I asked my son to help me, my oldest son, he's 30. And he goes, you could do it. He goes, Mom, it's so easy. So I did. So I go, all right, let me see. If I need his help, then then I'll ask them. And I did it, and I did it with no problem. And I learned how to navigate, and now I'm using it. I still have to learn about a business page and all that, but I'm willing, and I'm doing, one step at a time. So I know I'll eventually get there because I'm not gonna-
Yes, for sure. Well, how Dawn has a son named Joseph. I remember that name for sure. Dawn has a son named Joseph. How was Joseph's birthday?
It was wonderful. It was actually like 75 degrees here in New York because of the tropical storm Nicole had
Wow.
pulled through this one day, like 24 hours of gorgeous weather. So he ended up having a really warm birthday, probably the warmest he's ever had. And it's back to the 40s today. But we
Uh,
had that one day, but he had a wonderful day. He's an old soul.
that is great. That is a great picture that you posted. Talking about Facebook, I'm going to give you all a secret about my Facebook, about my social media. So if you want to see something that I post personally, it'll be on my personal Facebook page or on my personal Instagram page. Other than that, it'll be Mark and Doris and people like that who are posting things promoting our businesses on our business pages. And so that's kind of how it works for me. And I've learned a lot about all that too. And yeah, isn't it amazing that everybody has just got a beautiful life on social media? I kind of chuckle because life is not that way all the time, but it sure looks that way. And sometimes I just like to use it as a ministry tool, to tell people about things that are dear and dear to my heart. But yeah, I mean, one beautiful thing about social media is you can find people that you went to high school with and things of that nature, and relatives that you hadn't seen in a long time. So there's always some good and bad with everything. And so I'm just going to try to take the good always and use it for good.
I have to say real quick, when I joined Facebook, a lot of the people that I've known, from high school and stuff was like, oh my goodness, we thought you fell off the face of the earth because I never had a Facebook page. Some people didn't know if I was alive. And they were like, wow. And I got so many friends so fast because they were like, I know that name and I haven't heard of her in 30 years. So it was really like overwhelming for me, all these people. And then I just started gathering friends because I know I want to use it, like you said, as a tool going forward for positive, Yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes, there's one word that keeps coming back and back and back to me. And there's one thing that I always like to try to teach people that I work with. It's a word called discernment. Discernment. And it's so key. It's so key to have godly discernment when you're dealing with people. One time somebody got angry with me because I didn't answer their phone over the weekend. Well, after sundown on Saturday, I don't answer my phone, period. I don't even have it turned on a lot of times because that's my Sabbath and that's how I spend my time. And what I learned a long time ago is you can either own your business or your business can own you.
Mhm.
And for so many years, my business owned me, and I never took any time away to really be with my family. I mean, I was there, but I wasn't there, right? Can y'all hear me? And so what I have learned to do now is I've learned to just be with my family during those hours, and we do family things, and so it's about discernment. And so if you ever call me during that time and I don't answer the phone, you'll know why. And so don't get angry with me. It's just my Sabbath. And so if I call you and you don't answer, I'll wait till you do sometime, right? And discernment is so key. And going back to Facebook, see, when you're having success or when you put yourself out there in life, then people are going to take shots at you, right? And it's just the way the world is. And I have people that take shots at me all the time when I don't do what they want me to do, right? And so I don't let that bother me, but take all the shots you want to take at me. But I had somebody take a shot with me that says that my wife and I look too good on social media and we're portraying the wrong image. I'm saying, oh my gosh, man, you need to get a grip. But I didn't, a lot of times, what did Jesus do when he was in front of Pontius Pilate? What did we talk about a few weeks ago? Silence is sometimes the best answer, right? And so, you know what? I just didn't respond. And so you got to learn those tools. You got to learn the discernment tool, and you got to learn just don't respond. When somebody comes at you because you've put yourself out there and you're trying to be the best you that you can be, and somebody gives you some constructive criticism, and it's always criticism. Remember that, whether they think it's constructive or not, it might be constructive for them, but for you, it's criticism, right? And so I just don't answer. I don't pay any attention to it. I keep going. I'll go to the gym, lift a few weights, and don't worry about it, right? So I want to teach you those traits because it served me well over all these years. And believe me, on my lifetime, I've had a lot of people shoot at me with different comments and stuff. And I've finally gotten to the point in my life. Now, y'all gonna really love this one. I told Jennifer the other night, I said, if somebody wants to complain that we look good, let's give them something to complain about. Let's really give them something to complain about. We posted about 2 more pictures. So, it is what it is with us. We could care less. We're just gonna love them anyway, right? So give them something to complain about. If somebody's complaining to you, give them really something to complain about. Put yourself out there. So Dave Obermeyer, how you doing today?
All right, little on the low energy side, but that's okay. I'm looking forward to today's subject matter.
Yeah, climate
Very
change.
interested to hear what you have to say about that.
Yeah, I'm warming up
Yeah.
to that. Y'all can
And
tell.
I know where you're going.
I'm warming up to a little climate change, right? So now listen, Tracy, don't we feel bad that Tracy's down there in that warm 80-degree weather in Mexico? And we're all up here struggling with this South Carolina 50-degree weather. And Don, what is it in New York?
It's in the 40s and the
Oh
30s
my
at
gosh.
night and the 30s at night.
I
This
know.
is just the beginning.
I know. Well, it's great to have everybody on today. Andrea Rojas, how are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you all?
Good. Tell me something about what's going on with your business. What's going on in your life? So proud of you.
Thank you. Well, I've been talking to a business mentor of mine and asking her about the different stages of the business plan. And she gave me like a 2-page Word document on what she did. So I'm really excited to have something on paper where I can just read and research and dive in. So she really helped me a lot. So that's going to be my goal this week, just to read through that and dive into the business plan and just move forward.
For the new people on the call, tell people what business that you're developing. I think this is really good.
Okay. Well, it's a women's lingerie line, but it's for all shapes, sizes, colors. But it's more than lingerie. It's more about women empowerment and having them feel beautiful, and especially women who've been through like trauma, abuse. And I feel like whatever pain you've gone through, you can put pain into beauty. And I want this brand to feel like, you can be beautiful and have, feel beautiful about yourself inside and out. And I feel like, why not be beautiful and also heal yourself. So I want to kind of put like a nonprofit along with this and, go from there. So I'm very passionate about it.
That sounds good. That sounds really good. I'm excited about that. And, we talked several weeks ago about the lady who started Spanx. Remember?
Yes.
Telling about her?
Yes.
And
Sarah.
fascinating story. And you have that in your future.
Thank you, Joseph. I appreciate your support.
You really do. Advertising is kind of a funny animal, isn't it? I mean, it's like all the skinny people and all the pretty people and all that, are on the ads, and I was telling Jennifer, several weeks ago, I said, well, how about people like me? I'm not skinny and beautiful, but and Jennifer always says, but you are in my eyes, right? And so, there are certain brands that I like, but I don't feel like I fit into them. And so, but I like them. But I love the fact that you're doing something that fits all of us, every size, and it's just really powerful.
Yeah, and it should be inclusive to everyone because, a lot of these like Victoria's Secret or, other brands, they're just so like a specific, size. And, a lot of times you feel like it doesn't feel like yourself. It doesn't feel like, oh, I don't fit that mold. But I want it to be including everyone because we're all beautiful. It's just a matter of you seeing yourself that way.
Amen. Amen. My daughter told me one time, she says, recently, she said, why don't you get some skinny jeans? And I said, are you kidding me? I said, I can get my leg in one of those, And so, but there are jeans that I love and they fit me great. But, I love what you're doing for the masses.
Thank you.
That's great. All right, well, let's go to Shane up in Nantucket. Hey, Shane, how you doing today?
Hi, Joseph. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well, doing well. How's it going today?
Well, I have to say I'm in a bit of a transition phase, I think. Not to complain. I mean, I'm spending a lot of time with my grandkids and having a lot of fun and making the most of it while they're here till the end of the year. So that's so precious to me. Well, I think it has more to do for me now with moving more towards my music and my art and not so much with the healing devices. So it's funny to be back in kind of a beginner's mind in terms of business development, but that's where I am.
You're doing great. How about your eye? How's that doing? Shane just had eye surgery.
Yeah, it's changed everything. It's made everything. I can drive again. I can drive at night. It held me back in so many ways. And now it's just miraculous, really, how it's opened my world back up.
It's like everything's opened up for you, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it's interesting that I think for me, and maybe for a lot of people who are almost blind before they get a cataract surgery, in that it really affected me in the sense of my confidence and what I felt capable of doing, and made my life a lot smaller. So it's awesome in that way to recover so much of what I didn't realize I had lost, if that makes sense.
That's great. That's great. Well, you look so nice today, and you're always such a joy to hear you speak. And
Thank you.
we all love you and always appreciate you.
Thank you. Can I just quickly say that you mentioned Jimmy and your presentation was wonderful and Rasaji was so powerful, but I want to give a shout out to Angela Moonen, who did such a masterful and beautiful job of being the MC host of the program. She's just so skilled and such a pretty voice and beautiful upbeat spirit. So if you ever get a chance to check her out, I think her website's angelamoonen.com, and
Moonen.com,
she's a
right?
singer, and so great role model.
You know what I'm going to do? Angela's one of my 8 people, and so is Shane. The people I mentor, I'm going to have Angela join us on this call in a week or so. How about that?
That'd be great.
Maybe we'll have her on here after Thanksgiving, or maybe next week, but I'll let you guys know. Okay. I want you guys to pack it out because she is a force, and I've seen her grow in her business so much since we've been working one-on-one together. She is like Shane. She is a professional singer and has the voice of an angel. And unfortunately, on the show the other day, her microphone didn't work as well as it should have. And we didn't really get a true value of what she really can do. But it was fascinating. It's fascinating for me to get to know her. She sang at Carnegie Hall, and places like that. It's incredible. But I think Rasaji is going to put her Christmas album on his store. That's what I'm asking him to do because it's just phenomenal. And Shane, so is your music. So I got to take a long ride in my car, and I got your CD right there on the seat, ready to plug in.
That's nice. Thank you.
Anyway, Rachel, how you doing today? Rachel Imhoff.
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Adjusting to the frozen tundra out here. My car didn't like it too much and my lips froze. I'm like, oh, this is definitely a Florida car. So it's getting fixed right now. So I'm kind of in a forced time of peace. And it's actually been quite wonderful. Spent the morning with my aunt just bumming around at a store instead of being productive in the sense of business. And it's been a wonderful break. It's been really, really nice.
Good for you. And you're in Wisconsin. So
I
everybody,
am.
yeah, up in Wisconsin. So people from all over. Miles, how are you doing today in Hawaii?
Good, waking here. It's just wonderful. And you know, and I just really appreciate these calls and, you know, reading the proverbs of the day and a little bit of the story of John. And I'm just really believing and trusting in a very loving, abundant day and week and moment. It's just great to be here.
Miles, you're such a blessing. Everybody just loves your demeanor and everybody just loves your wisdom. And that's exactly right, man. Reading those proverbs every day is so important. For those of you who are new that are joining us, one of the things I always suggest that people do, and one thing that's really blessed me in my life, there are normally 31 days in a month, right? And there are 31 chapters in Proverbs. And so what I do is I encourage people to read the proverb that corresponds with the day. So if you want to start in Proverbs today, read chapter 14 of Proverbs. Tomorrow, read chapter 15. The next day, read chapter 16. And you will not believe how much wisdom you will glean from reading the Proverbs. People like Rasaji and people like, you know, a lot of the people on this call are reading the Proverbs every day. So it's really, Shane, I know you do it. Jerry, I know you do it. So it's just really, it's really fascinating to see what you can learn from all of that. So, but anyway, great, Miles, hearing you. And how's your business going?
Businesses are going really well. There's like today, I'm having one of the ERCs. I'm writing a letter. I have a local inn that is really interested. The owner said to the account manager to get on it with me. And so I just see some real good sales in that area and other areas of my life and businesses. So thank you very much. You've been very helpful. And I like reading, like you said, with the proverb, and we're reading it. It's like joining in together.
Yeah.
Just knowing that you also are there, and that stream of consciousness, that oneness of the Creator is just really wonderful to share.
You know, I've done this for years, reading the Proverbs daily. And what I learned is that I'm awakened to something new that I've read already, but I'm seeing it for the first time. Can you relate to that?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like when you continue to read it and you continue to meditate on the word in the Proverbs, the wisdom you glean from what's being offered. So thank you for that, Miles. Tom Armour, how are you doing today? Are you muted?
I'm doing great, Joseph. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. I want you to tell everybody, you approached me last week and I committed to you, but you're starting your own NFT business. Is that correct?
Mhm. That is correct.
And you're looking for investors that will invest anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000
Mhm.
and in your business. And so I want you to tell people about what you're doing and why you're doing your own NFT business. And I believe in that business, and I will be one of your investors. But tell everybody what you're doing. There might be somebody on this call or somebody on the playback of this call who might be interested in contacting you. And I want you to say out loud how to contact you so that anybody who might be hearing this recording would know. But go ahead, Tom.
Sounds great. Yeah, well, I just was, when you and I talk a lot, we talk about what's going on in the marketplace, just like your topic for today. You're taking what's going on in our culture in the world and bringing it to business. And that's what I think is missing a lot in the NFT world right now, is the culture side. So everybody's talking about NFTs and what the pricing is, and how much money people are making or not making with them, up and down, left and right. And I just said there's no place that people do a trading place where people can just swap their tokens. So we created a website where people could share and swap like we did when we were kids. I mean, I know I have baseball cards I collected when I was a kid. Still to this day, they're in a drawer someplace, and I had a lot of fun with them when I was a kid, and they created a whole culture of friends that had similar thoughts, and like to play. I mean, I was fortunate because when I grew up, I was a Mets fan, so it was easy to collect them because nobody else wanted them, so I could get them. So it was a lot of fun, and it was great trading with people and stuff. And so we're creating that culture of trading on the internet where people can buy and sell as well here, but they're also going to be able to trade and they'll be able to mint their own NFTs. And the other niche that I'm going after that I think people have not gone after at all yet is books. And music is going to be huge. I know it. We're working on that as well. But I think books is a missing one because, imagine if when you write a book and somebody sold that book to somebody else on the internet, you're going to get a commission again, because that's one of the beautiful things about NFTs is we can build it into your NFT that every time that NFT changes hands, you're going to get a commission back on it. So, you'll get a piece back. So it really does put money in the producer's hands. And that's the same thing with music too. Instead of, you making money on your sale one time and making the little bit. I mean, I look at how much a songwriter makes on a song on the internet. It's nothing. It's almost a joke. They're the ones that come up with the creativity and they don't make any money. And now you can build it in there so you make money. Somebody else uses your song. You get to make money from it, not just all funding into a pool. So I'm just excited about it. I just feel like putting things in people's hands is back into the creators' hands is fantastic. And we've got a group of people over in the Philippines too that are creating some artworks. We're going to get up there on the site so that people can buy and sell their artworks over there and help create international marketplace for different artwork that is up on the site that is going to be a place where people can buy and sell. And the other piece that we're doing is we're not trying to be the end all and be all of, we want to do the full metaverse and program the games and do this. We're just going to be buying lands in the different lands, in the decentral lands, in the different metaverses that are out there. So when people are in those metaverses, they can find our store and go in there and swap tokens that they have and be able to, trade them with people, buy ones, sell ones, all in there, and then come back out into that metaverse and then go into another metaverse and they'll see another one of our stores there where they can go in and swap. So they can move things from game to game, metaverse to metaverse through our store. So that's what we're doing. We're going after kind of taking traditional small town business to the internet.
Good.
Put in that personal touch in there. So excited about it.
Let me interject something. With me, it's always full disclosure, and I really promote people having their business on here. But Doug Sherman and I gave Tom his seed capital to start this NFT business because we believe in the NFT business. We believe in that being a big part of the future. And when we believe in Tom, and Tom, we really believe in you, and I believe you're going to hit a home run here.
Mhm.
And so when Tom told me that he needed to do some other things, I said, Tom, I want you to raise that money yourself. And I'll help you do it, but I want you to, Doug and I've given you the seed capital. We want you to finish it out. And so any of you, and again, full disclosure, if any of you want to invest with Tom, I believe this is going to be a great venture, but you should size it up yourself after talking to Tom and make your own decision. Don't make a decision based on anything that I have done, because in my lifetime, I've made some good investments and I've made some poor investments. So I don't try to influence anybody either way, but I've known Tom Armour for a long time, 35 years, and I know what he's capable of doing given the right opportunity. And that's what Doug and I've tried to do, is put him in a position to have the right opportunity. And I believe that this is going to pay huge dividends in a year or two ahead. So Tom, I appreciate you being on. Can you repeat how people can contact you? Just say it out loud so the people who are listening to the recording can also hear.
Sure. I can be reached at Tom, T-O-M, at tomarmour.com, which is TOMARMOUR.com. So Tom at tomarmour.com.
Okay. Well, thank you. And any of you guys who are interested in investing with Tom on the short end, I'm not talking about a sizable investment like we did. I'm talking about, if you want to be a part of something that might pay you some real dividends. I think you're looking for investors like $1,000 or something like that, Tommy.
Yeah, anywhere from $1,000 to $2,500 is what we're looking for now to
And just
fill in the rest of the. And it's really to help us provide liquidity, so when we go on some of the other exchanges with our coins, we can have a good liquidity pool. So it helps promote the coin and get it moving faster. So
great. All right. Well, thank you for that, Tom. I wanted you to clarify that. And I'd like for you to speak to you and Doug, have a chat as well, or maybe you and Doug and I get on the phone for an update as well. So Doug is on the call today as well. All right. Well, good. Let's set a date for that. Oh, thank you, Tom. Great to have you on the call today. Catherine Lee, it's great to have you on the call today.
Hi, everyone. I just, whenever I come here, it's such a beautiful space. It just feels like love here. I just really appreciate knowing that people are coming from this beautiful space within themselves and creating beautiful dreams out in the world. And so I can really feel that. And I can really resonate with a lot of people. I'm starting over as well. And, I can relate to Dawn about, Facebook and I really needed to hear today's message about using it for good. And so I'm going to be revisiting that and getting back on Facebook. And I've actually, Jimmy Schwinn is now, part of my life too, because I was on that 1111 call, and I have been in the advanced group with Rasaji, and hearing you, Joseph and Angela. I mean, it feels like I just have found my people, and it's really a beautiful thing. So thank you.
Great. That's great, Catherine. It's great to have you on. And, starting over is good. That's a great place to be, because a lot of times when God allows you to start over, you get rid of a lot of baggage and
yes,
a lot of things that were holding you back. Yeah.
I have had an entrepreneurial urge since my early 20s. And I've been following that. And, I've had to learn technology, but it's all a part of the process. It's all a part of the journey. I definitely can say that I know some things in technology, as before I might have said something differently. And so that's where I'm refreshing everything, because I need to get back into connecting with people in that way. luckily, I've actually been able to get referrals and word of mouth. So, you know, selling and marketing hasn't been my thing. And I kind of asked for, you know, the word of mouth. So that's coming in now, and it's really beautiful. And I'm just taking my healing and coaching to a whole new level. It's
Good.
so I'm excited about that.
Good. We're excited for you. And let me give you all something to write down. When somebody says something to you that you don't feel is for you, don't receive it. All right? Just simply don't receive it. And just say in your spirit, I don't receive it. Because in my lifetime, I've had a lot of people say things to me that I could not receive, right? Like, nobody from our town ever played professional baseball, and you're not going to do it either. You can either receive that or not receive that. I chose not to, right? And then the other thing is what you allow will continue. If you allow people to say things to you or treat you in a way, if you continue to allow it, it'll just, it'll keep on going. But when you cut it off at the root, man, it's over with. And today I'm going to talk about climate change, the climate you permit around you. And you have to be careful with that. So if you want to be really successful, if you want to be an elite entrepreneur, like some people call me, then you need to know what the climate is around you, right? And you need to know who's got your back and who's telling you they got your back, but they really don't, right? So it's just a process. Bobby Bentz, how you doing today? Bobby?
I'm here, sir. Very blessed. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, yes. And I want to tell y'all something about Bobby. Bobby has a hedge fund and he's knocking it out of the park. Totally knocking it out of the park. In fact, so much so, Jennifer and I are going to have dinner with him and his wife this Friday night to talk about investing with him. And he is really, I'm very impressed with this young man and what he's doing. And he can describe it to you, but the returns, I deal with a lot of people in this space, and his returns are phenomenal. And he's got a system, how he operates. Just very proud of you, Bobby. And Bobby, I want you to tell people how they can get a hold of you too, because I believe in you as well.
Okay. Well, thank you, Joseph. I will type it in there, but I'll verbally say it for the people listening or just watching on YouTube. Bobby at lorcocap.com. That's LORCOCAP.com. Bobby before that, Bobby at lorcocap.com. If you go to the website, actually Google, YouTube, all the search engines, if you just put in my name, Bobby Bentz, or if you just put in Lorco Capital, all the articles written about me from Yahoo Finance to Business Insider, all that stuff will pop up. And if you go to my website, you can book a 30-minute Zoom call with me. I go over all the details with you. I'm very transparent because I believe in that. And basically over the past 20 years, I took everything that people hate about the hedge fund industry, and I created the opposite, where I don't charge management fees, and I don't make anything until after the investors made over 8% themselves. And so I only get paid once a year, once that each investor's subscription date, which is 12 months, is at the end. The investor
This
gets
is really
their return.
Hold on. This is really key. So if I put $100,000 with you and you return me 8%, then that first 8% would be mine, right?
Yes.
And then anything above that, you and I would split. Is that correct?
Yes, 50-50.
And that's the coolest thing I've heard. So I love what you're doing, Bobby. And it's Bobby, BOBBY at LORCOCAP, cap. That's CAP.com. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, write that down in the chat. I get really excited when people have real businesses and they're making real progress and they're blessing God's people. And that's what this man's doing right here.
Yeah. I will tell you something, Joseph, which is really amazing, and I'm sure she won't mind. I'll just say her first name, a lady named Gunhild from Denmark in Europe, listened to this recording on YouTube, didn't know how to get in touch with me, looked me up on Facebook. We weren't friends, so the messenger went to, I have to get a message request.
Yeah.
And then but she messaged me and everything, and she just signed up in the hedge fund this morning.
Isn't that amazing? Off of this show.
Yes, off of listening and hearing about us on this show. Yes. So hope she don't mind me. I'll just say that I'll just set her first name. That's it. And but anyway, so now she is officially in the fund. So
Thank you, Bobby, for that. Now, see what I've been telling you guys? We're absolutely creating our own economy. All of you guys are learning what each other are doing, and you're doing business with each other, or you're referring other people to do business with each other. And it's just so powerful. It's just so powerful how that works. So thank you for that, Bobby. And please put your information in the chat for everyone to copy and have.
I will.
Bridget,
One more blessing I just wanted to say real quick is that Saturday was me and my wife. We're both in our second marriage. Me and my wife's 6-year anniversary, and it was just such a blessing day that we spent all day together. It was really nice.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And we'll see you on Friday night.
Yes, sir, you will.
Okay, Bridget, how are you doing today?
I am very good. Hello, and I'm so glad to be here. Joseph, I just want to tell you that I'm a big fan, and that you really touched my heart when you spoke at 11:11, and your gratefulness, like you expressed your gratefulness to everyone, really touched me.
Oh, thank you, Bridget. You're also awesome. And I'm honored to have you on the show today.
Thank you.
Make sure you come back and bring some friends with you.
I will. Can I say 2 words?
Yes.
So I'm living in Nicaragua at the moment, and I'm involved with a teacher training, Rasaji's teacher training, and I will move to Mexico soon. So for me, right now, my focus is not on business, or like I have other things that come first right now, but I wanted to connect because once the residency is done, I will be very interested to learn about this part, because I'm very right-brained. And for me, it's a bit difficult to deal with money and with business and with all this stuff.
Oh, that's great, Bridget. You bless my heart. You're coming to us today from Nicaragua. That's
Yes.
awesome. The power of the internet.
Yes, 31 degrees Celsius. That's about 87 Fahrenheit.
Oh, wow. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Where are you thinking about moving to in Mexico?
Probably Puebla City.
Yes.
Or surroundings of Puebla City. It's in the south.
Yes. Well, that's where Tracy's in Mexico right now. Tracy.
Yes, I really want to connect with her. Yes.
Awesome. Well, that's great. Well, thank you, Bridget. Karen, how are you doing today?
I'm great. Thank you. I definitely can connect with everyone that I spoke today, even the fabulous entrepreneurs, although I am so far from that. I'm like Bridget. I just moved. I'm focusing on other things. I'm in Rasaji's training. And I'm looking forward to it probably the first or second quarter of next year, get a business class going like Dawn right now. And so my brain does not bend this way, it just doesn't. So I'm trying to learn to turn my brain into thinking this way. And so that's why I'm joining all you people, because you're doing it with a spiritual focus. And that's exactly from here on out in my life right now, I want a spiritual focus. And
Great.
so I really appreciate hearing all of you. I too enjoyed you very much, Joseph, on 11/11. I love the program and seeing my brothers and sisters that are growing. You can just see light emanating from them. And
Thank you.
that's what I want. That's what I want, you know? And so it just gives me, I'm like being nourished by everyone on this call and everyone on the 11/11 call. And I just really appreciate you guys being here.
Great, great. Thank you, Carrie. Well, I want to get right into what I want to talk to you about today because I want to end this call in the next 7 minutes. So get your pens out and write because I have some people wanting me to end this call within an hour, which is good. So I want to talk to you about climate change. The first thing I want to tell you is that you are responsible for the climate you permit around you, your inner circle. You're responsible for the climate that what you allow will continue. So you're responsible for that climate that you permit around you. Number two, if the people that are closest to you never edify you, and you have to worry about them having your back, then you're in the wrong company. You need to change the climate that you're in. 3 is you will never achieve what you're capable of if you're still holding on to the things that you're supposed to let go of. It's all about the climate. 4, this is a funny. Have you ever had a flashback in your life and just whispered, "Thank you, Jesus," to yourself? You know, have you ever had a flashback and you just whispered, "Thank you, Jesus"? You know, I'm glad I'm out of that. I'm glad I'm away from that. I'm glad I'm done with that. So that lets you know that the climate that you've left and moving into is the right one. The atmosphere, the 5th thing, the atmosphere that you permit around you determines the product that you're going to produce. The atmosphere you permit around you determines the product that you're going to produce. The next one I want you to remember is one of the most rewarding moments in life. It's when you have the courage to finally let go of the things that you can't change. You know, you can't fix your husband, you can't fix your wife, you can't fix your child. You can pray for them, you know? But at some point in a business, you have to rid yourself of that, right? So one of the most rewarding things in life of a business is when you're finally have the courage to let go of what you can't change. Lord, I put this on the altar before you. I can't do anything about this. You have to deal with it. I'm not capable of doing it. That makes sense to you guys? All right. And then the next thing is the two things that I remind myself of constantly is number 1 is take care of my thoughts when I'm alone. And number 2 is to take care of my words when I'm around other people. The 2 things that I remind myself constantly of is 1, take care of my thoughts when I'm alone. What am I thinking? What am I saying to myself? You know what I'm saying to myself? I'm a champion. I'm a child of God. I'm a winner. You know, I am going to be successful. That's what I'm saying to myself. And number 2 is take care of the things you say when you're around other people. A word aptly spoken is like apples of gold. So speak blessing or speak nothing. Speak good and speak nothing. Right? My mother always said, if you can't say something good about someone, don't say anything at all. And, you know, silence is golden. Just don't say anything. And then the last thing I want to talk about is the sense of entitlement. You know, we live in a country today, or we live in a society today where people have a sense of entitlement. They think they deserve to be given something. And you know what? That's not the way business works, and that's not the way life is. The antidote to entitlement, I think, is thankfulness. gratefulness. And when you have a heart of thankfulness and gratefulness, things are going to speed up in coming to you. And I'm starting to watch things speed up for people that I'm associated with right now. Things are speeding up for the good. And so when you have a heart of gratefulness and thankfulness, that things are going to speed up, I think, in your life. And the last thing I'm going to say is a sense of entitlement is a poisonous snake that the world owes me something. And the antidote is thankfulness and gratefulness. That poisonous snake of entitlement, the antidote, you can write that down, the antidote is thankfulness and gratefulness. How was that today? Isn't that cool?
Great.
And so I love you. I love you.
Awesome.
I love you guys, and I thank you for joining the show today. And you heard the playback here, but I want to end this right at this time. And if you guys will hold on just 1 second, I have something else I want to tell you.